Hi there, Stampers. This is Lisa with Queen Bee Creations, here with today's live. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I go live every Monday here on Facebook and in my Facebook group and on YouTube. Sorry. Um, Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you being here. Every week, I hope to teach you something that looks complicated and make it easy for you. That's always my goal. I love cards like this that look a little bit fancy, and I'm going to simplify it for you. We're going to make this really easy today. And of course, all of these are available in the new catalog. Tomorrow, you can actually purchase out of the new annual catalog. And this card on the front is made with the bundle that we're using today. We're using the Happiness Abounds bundle. And it is gorgeous and it is super useful. So I can't wait to show you what we're going to make today. Let me put you down on my desk where you can see this gorgeous bundle. And I have a piece of the designer series paper out. This is just one of the many, many gorgeous designs. But I wanted to show you how we have this stamp set, and then we have the set of dies that goes with it. Now, by buying the stamp set and the dies together as a bundle, you save 10%. And they're really useful. Like I showed you last week how this cuts the edge of the paper and then gives the little slots as if you were going to do one of those coil bindings on it. And then this one cuts and then puts the little holes in so it looks like you ripped it out of a spiral notebook. And they can be used on any card whatsoever. And then there's also these other dies. This one mostly cuts out, and then it has little leaves that will pop up. So it's just kind of a background decorative thing. But all of these dies, we know that mostly the dies are designed to cut out the stamped images. And so each of these dies, of course, has a stamped image they're all going to coordinate with that it's going to cut out. But we discovered something new and improved, that in addition to cutting out all the stamps, it's going to cut out the designer series paper. So you can use these to lay on here and cut these out. And there's one for every flower that's on here. They've all got a coordinating die. Oops. And it uses almost every inch. I did an entire page of these and I cut everything out, and there was almost nothing left because it cuts out the leaves. It's going to cut out the flowers. It's going to cut out the other set of leaves. I mean, just everything cuts out, and it leaves you with just little scripts of little teeny tiny paper. And we're using this on our thing today. As you can see here on the front, I've used that designer series paper by cutting it out and attaching it to the front. So this is going to be today's card. And I've already got some of it started for you. I went ahead and we're going to start with a standard card base. 8.5 by 11, scored at 4 1/4, or cut in half at 5 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. So it's just a half of a sheet of cardstock, folded in half. Then I've got another piece. This piece is actually 8 inches by 4 inches. And that's going to go in here. They're going to fold in opposite directions. So far, easy, right? Just plain old card bases. Then we've got plain old layers. So for the inside, this one is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, because I guess it was 5 1/4. See, I usually write these things down. Yep, 5 1/4. So this is 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. So the overall piece, 5 1/4 by 8, scored at 4. I'll write this all down. Something about having a camera on me makes my brain just go woohoo. Okay, so on this card, I use just a straight edge. Totally something you can do. But I thought on today's card, I'm going to use the basic borders dies, and we're going to give it a decorative edge. So this was just a 1 inch by, say, 6 inch piece of paper, and I used our basic borders dies to cut that stitched edge. And then I have 2 pieces that are 3 inches by 5 1/4. There's 2 of these. Because this time I'm going to put one on the inside to cover up this. So there'll be one outside and one inside. And then I use the layering circles dies and just cut some circles. So we're going to use those on the front of the card. Really simple. Okay, the only thing that's going to get tricky is this angle right here. And it's not really that tricky. What we're going to do is we're going to take our card base, and I've measured over 1 inch this way and 1 inch this way. And then we're just going to cut between the two. Does that make sense to everybody so far? And you can order this bundle tomorrow. Who's excited for that new catalog? Have you gone through it and put flags on almost every page like I did? As demonstrators, we were able to order quite a bit early, but not everything. So there's still some bundles on my wish list that were not available yet that I'll get to add tomorrow. And I'm also going to be ordering everybody's paper shares and the May class to go. So if you ordered the Sweet Songbirds class, I will have that ordered tomorrow, as well as everybody's paper shares. So you have till the end of today to get your order into me to get in on those. Okay, so that's all I did was I went in 1 inch, over 1 inch, cut between the two. Okay. Now for the designer series paper, this was 3 inches by 5 1/4, and I made little marks over at 7/8 of an inch. And I just did that by setting it in here. And then I closed the track and I used my pencil and just, made a little mark. But now I'm going to take and cut from that mark down to the corner. So I'm going to cut like that. That glare out of the way. So just 7/8 of an inch over, and then from that to the corner. Now this one's going to go the other way because it's going to go on the inside. So I'm going to take this one and go this direction. And you'll see how that will make them, one inside, one outside. So that wasn't too hard, right? I mean, now we're just going to have to glue it together. That was all there was to it. Okay, so let's start with the cover. Like I said, I wanted to put this on the edge. So I'm going to go ahead and do this first. And I'm going to do that by putting some adhesive along the edge. And I'm going to use liquid glue for my wiggle room. Those of you who watch me know that whenever I need to finagle something, I will use liquid glue. Otherwise, I love the seal. Okay, so I'm just going to finagle this to where I want it to be. I mean, I think that looks good. So then I'm just going to have to trim. Oops. lay flat. With my paper snips. So there's our decorative edge. And then these were designed to go over it. And these papers are just gorgeous. And so depending on what section you cut out, it's the whole rainbow of colors. So you can see this one got purples and pinks, and this is getting blues, and there's a yellow and orange in the middle. It's just really pretty. Then I'm taking the other piece and just putting it on the other side. And this doesn't have to go there. It's just the option of being able to cover up that seam. This looks really pretty in lots of papers. I know I love this one, and I'm going to be really sad when it retires, but there's going to be new ones. Stampin' Up! Always comes out with gorgeous new papers, and I'm sure there's something we looked back on that we were sad it was retiring or we couldn't get it yet, and there it is. Okay, so I think I'm going to do the yellows and pinks in the middle on the inside, and then this on the outside. So I'm going to put these on the purple layer. This is Gorgeous Grape, and I'm doing it in reverse. Oh yeah, don't forget to put in hashtag Prize Patrol so that you can get in on the drawing. Thank you, Wendy, for reminding me about that. See, that's the other thing about Designer Series paper is it's so sad to cover up the other side. I think that's pretty too. And then I'm going to need a white piece. And then we're going to glue this in the center inside. So we're just going to put a basic border around it as if it was a layer, only it's going to open. And then these I'm just going to adhere to each other. And like I said, these are just the layering circles dies. I think the basic shapes are just something that can be used everywhere. So I definitely recommend having basic shapes. They can be used all over the place. Okay. Come on, give. Okay, I'm going to take one of my layers. I have a drawer over here filled with pieces that are 4 inches by 5 1/4. But I need to trim this down because this is 4 inches by 5 1/4, the front of it. So going 1/8 of an inch down, I need 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And you could go down 1/4 of an inch if you're more comfortable with that. I just wanted the skinny border. Sorry, I can see the 1/8 inch down here a whole lot better. So there is for our inside. And this is where I used our stamps. And you don't have to use the stamps I used. Obviously, you can use any number of them. Mix and match, whatever. I'm going to use a different color today and go with Gorgeous Grape. This was Melon Mambo. And that one says, wishing you all the happiness you can imagine. So let's do You Are Wonderful in Every Way. Now I'll turn my stamp over and lay it on the grid paper and try to get my words to line up on the grid. And then once I have that straight, I'm going to lay my block down right over the top straight, and then hopefully it's going to pick up straight. Give me the best chance possible of getting it on the card straight, right? Looks pretty good. Okay, then I'm going to take and do these in the corners. And these could be stamped in a basic gray or a smoky slate and then colored, or even colored with this. But I think they look pretty left open as well. They don't have to be colored to be pretty. I mean, obviously they would be, but I like them like that too. Can't believe we leave for retreat in like a week and a half. It's coming so fast. We're gonna do 3 nights at a cabin in Rockland, Idaho. And I've been busily working away on all of our make and takes and optional classes and all the pillow gifts you guys are going to get. It's going to be fun. You'll love it. Okay, so now we're ready to put on the front. And again, I have my clear envelope inside with all my spare pieces. And like I said, this is, you know, how little we were getting down to when I was cutting everything out of that sheet of Designer Series paper. And you'll notice some of these flowers aren't even complete. These are like all the ones off the edges, because they're helpful too. I went ahead and collected a bunch of the edges and did this. So all I did was butt them up to the edges on that layer and then put the sentiment in the middle. I mean, you could even continue layering flowers in the middle if you wanted to and make a whole bouquet on the front and just make it kind of 3-dimensional. But don't throw the edges away. They're still useful. Then it's just a matter of picking, you know, what colors you want to play with to make this pop. You know, and whether you want all big flowers, you want some little ones. That's the same colors. Let's go this way. I love arranging the flowers. I could sit here for a long time doing this and drive you all nuts, but I know you don't want that. So let's just pick some that'll still show a little bit of the blue in the background, and then we'll be able to add some leaves in there. So I'm going to take the first one and I'm going to glue this down with glue dots. And I'm going to go ahead and put the leaves directly on the flower. Oops, wrong way. didn't get it. Come on. There we go. Okay. Then I'm going to take these two and I'm going to pop them on with dimensionals. Okay. In there, and here's my other one. They say things are better in threes, so I'm going to stick that leaf right there. So there we go. There's today's card. And then I can save all these other flowers for the next card. And I'll keep them in here with my stamp set. So when I open this up, I remember that I've already done this. And I have spares. So what do you think? Who's going to give this one a try? Okay, so that was today's card. There's another version of it. Oh, and I used the little dots. Those were part of this suite too. Oops. There's little embellishments, and they're nice and smooth on the top and fairly flat. So I'm comfortable sending them through the mail. They're not going to ruin my envelope or get caught in the machinery. So there's that. Here's the little card we did with the edges. And I have next week's card. I do. Okay, now my sample is done with some retiring paper. Today's the last day to get anything off the retirement rack. But we're going to play around next time with the pansies and this drapery fold that has the pullback. I had one of my customers message me and say that she saw this on Pinterest and wanted to know how to do it. She had found it only in metric. So I've converted what she found to imperial measurements, and we're going to be doing this fold next week. So, and we'll learn a little more about how to play with the pansy dies, and I'll make a diagram for that as well. So then we'll have one on the tulips, the daffodils, and now the pansies. So any of these builder sets, I will have reference sheets for you. So again, all of the things we used are from Stampin' Up and can be purchased in my online store. And these items that are new products can be ordered tomorrow. It's all going to go live tomorrow. I am so excited. Now, has everybody entered hashtag Prize Patrol? Everyone in the US needs to type in hashtag Prize Patrol to get into the drawing. So go ahead and do that real quick, and then we'll give it a spin. So just like this, the numbers on the pound sign and then Prize Patrol. And then I can share my screen. So here we go. Here is the Prize Patrol wheel. So it looks like we have 5 entries. 5 people have typed in hashtag Prize Patrol. If you're on Facebook, you need to give me permission or give StreamYard permission to see your name. So if you haven't done that, it's not going to show your name. I don't have any control over that. I apologize. Yeah, this is a fairly new drape that I've seen. I've done lots of drapery folds, but this one with the tie back, that was kind of a new twist on it. I like it. Okay, so I need to go over here to this one. And Wendy is our winner today. So congratulations, Wendy. Okay, on YouTube, Marlene, I can see your name. There's a few people on Facebook, and Facebook has some privacy concerns where they want you to click a link that gives, where you can tell StreamYard it's okay to see your name. So the one person or at least one person, I can't see the name. I get Facebook user from Facebook. Everybody on YouTube, I can see your name just fine. So Wendy is our winner. And of course, if I have Wendy's address, but if I didn't have your address, there's always a claim form I like you to fill out so that I can mail you your prize. And that's just queenbeecreations.net/prize patrol. So thank you for joining me. I appreciate you being here, and I hope you loved today's card and that you order from me tomorrow out of this new exciting catalog. I can't wait. Thanks. Bye.